Hi, my name is Chani Khanin and I'm an artist. Today I'm going to share with you, in honor of Tu B'Shvat, my gift in art. Each one of us are gifted with talent. Tu B'Shvat is the birthday of the tree, and we can learn a lot from a tree, as there is a verse in the Torah that says, Ki ha'adam eitz hasodeh. Man is compared to a tree in the field. So today we'll be painting a tree in the field. Now we'll be painting only one half of the tree, because your grandchildren will be painting the other half. So as your grandmother or grandfather, you will be painting the left side of the tree. And once your grandchild does the right, you will have a beautiful, strong, beautiful fruit tree together. So let's begin. We're going to take our 8 by 10 canvas, each of you have, and place your paint white, blue, brown, green, yellow, and red. And you should have some paint brushes, medium and some fine ones. You're going to take your 8 by 10 canvas and we're doing the left side of the tree. So you're going to take your ruler and you're going to measure 3/4 from the outside. Make a line with the brown paint or with the pencil if you want. And just make some brown, as I showed you. Outline where your tree trunk is going to meet at the edge of the right, connected with the other half of your tree. Now your tree trunk will probably come around 6 inches from your bottom of the canvas. So we're just going to leave that there for now. Then you're going to take your wider brush, put it into blue paint, and begin to paint across the canvas. You only need the blue paint to begin with on the top. You're going to go back, forth, across. Nice strokes. Nice bright sky above here. And as you come down, you're going to start slowly to add some white paint into the blue and mix blue and white together to just make it a lighter blue as you come down the canvas. Now you'll be doing the sky till around 2/3 approximately of your canvas, so you can just outline and now you can just work your way through down the sky, blue and white. Have fun, be creative. There we go. We're just going to paint across all around here. If you're going over the brown line, don't worry, you can always fix it up later. I just want you to have that nice flow of the sky. Some days the sky is more bright and blue, some days it has more white in it, some more clouds flowing. So just play around. Make a little blue in the white. This is going to be your background. Just keep mixing. Just cover the canvas. Go back and add a little more. Lighter here. Now if you have any time you feel it's too much paint, just blend it in. You can always use a Bounty to dab off some of the paint if you feel it's too much paint. Here we go, we have our sky. Just playing up a little more of a flow. Okay, now that we have our blue paint still, I'd like to show you, we're going to be painting next to the tree a stream of water. So right below where you have the sky, you'll be making it dark blue again, because this is the part of the stream that's going to be further away. It's going to be pretty dark. And you're just going to make a stream looking, coming like a flow to the bottom, towards the left side of your canvas. So you have a nice flow, and it comes wider towards the end because it's closer to you. So whenever you look in the distance, it always looks, even though it could be the same size, it's further away, so it's more, it looks, to make it look more narrower, you just have to paint it narrow over here to get the perspective right of that lake. I'll be sharing with you later a beautiful story why we are putting this lake in this scene. And now as you come down to the flow, you can add a little more, you can add some white just to have that little wave, gentle wave in the water. If you want, you can widen it up a little more over here. So you have like the corner there is like an inch up. Just be great or whatever. So that's our stream of water. You're going to wash your brush. I just want to add a little more blue up here. Fill in. Okay. Here we go. Brush. And we're going to put the green now in. This is where the field is going to be. And don't worry if your field is not so straight line, because you're going to have hills. It's in the distance, so make it a little like hilly. Just careful the blue lake. So be gentle. If you find it too hard to go with a thick brush next to the lake, you can just fill it in later with the more finer brush that you have. Just give it a nice flow. And now, here we go. I'll just make it, yes, there we are. And we're going to add a little brown to our brush. So you have the green on the brush, you add a little bit of brown paint. And we're just going to do a little brown on the top to make it look shadow, hills, a little more depth. It shouldn't be completely brown, just that little brown touch. And if you don't like it, you can add a little more green. Make a little more hills. And after it dries soon, we'll be adding some more color a little later on. Now, as we said, man is compared to a tree. So there are three parts to a tree. There is the roots, which begin underground, that we do not really see because most of it's covered. There's the trunk, the branches and leaves, and then there's the fruits. We're first going to begin with the roots, which is the foundation of the tree, that begin underground. So rinse your brush. We're going to put in brown paint. I have my medium brush. And I'm going to be making some nice, beautiful, beautiful they are, but painting the roots coming up to the trunk. You just make them flowing, coming out. coming into the trunk. Now the roots is the foundation, as we said. It's underground, most of it. And this is the foundation as a person that we give to our children and our grandchildren. We give them faith in God, strong roots. When we teach them the Torah, and we teach them and we spread, different concepts of Torah, like taking them to the synagogue, and we eat with them by the Shabbat table. And the stronger roots that we give our children or grandchildren, the stronger the trunk and the branches and the leaves, and eventually the fruits will grow. Because we want strong foundations, strong roots, in order for the tree to be strong and firm, even during the winter, during the cold months, when the wind blows. We don't want the trees to knock down. We don't want us people to be knocked down when we have trouble and challenges in life. So we want to give our children and our grandchildren a strong foundation. This is the foundation of the tree, the roots we can learn from the tree. So before we continue up with the trunk, if you want, you can make a little more darker brown on the roots. We're going to wash our brushes. And now we're going to add some green. Just around the stream of water. I'm going to fill it up with some green grass. Oh, it's pretty thick here. Gently. Keeping the shape of the stream. We're just going to more green over here. Around where we've painted the Later we're going to put some more grass over this area when it dries. We'll give it a few minutes, settle in. Okay, so wash your brushes. And we're going to go on to now the trunk, the strong trunk of the tree. And we're just going to paint it up brown. You can add a little white, just to make a little highlight. You don't need too much white, actually. Put too much white. Now, if you ever feel like you put too much paint on it, you could take your Bounty and just wipe it down a little. Add a little more brown. And then, from the strong tree trunk, which is the Torah flows through the trunk from the foundation that we've given our children and our grandchildren. The nutrients from the ground comes up and it starts to branch out, making strong branches. This is the Torah that gives nutrients to the tree and helps it grow. That we give nutrients to our children. So I'm going to draw some nice big branches here, strong, thicker branches. You can make them any direction. Makes a few thick ones. Remember, the other side of the tree is going to be done by your grandchildren. There we go. Keep adding some nice, gently. And they're going to sway gently in the wind because it's got we have strong roots. There we go, more. Okay, I'm going to change over my brush now to my finer brush. We can make more details. And make some finer. And just make your branches come any direction. You can make another one down here, another one over there, some thinner ones, some coming forward, some hanging off this way, some flying up this way. And we're going to fill them up soon. We're going to fill up our tree with leaves, fresh leaves. So as we're making the flow from the grandparents to the children and grandchildren, through the Torah they teach. We're going to begin to add the leaves. So you can rinse your brush, dip it in the green and start creating leaves. Just little nice leaves. I'm just going to put green for now. We're going to add some highlights in them shortly. Just fill up your tree. Some nice green leaves, fresh leaves. As I want to mention here, that no tree is exactly the same. Like a person, we're all very different from each other. We have similarities, but each one of us is unique. So every tree has uniqueness, I suppose. Some have more leaves, some have less leaves, more branches. You know, even though some trees look similar, I'm sure all your trees are going to be a little different. So just fill up as much as you want of your tree. If you want it full with branches, full with leaves. Just build it up all the way to the top of the canvas. Fill it up as much as you could. So we're going to highlight them. Just take the brush strokes upwards. You can make some downwards. Some in between the trunk and the branches, sticking out. Some above, some over, lapping. Just have fun with the brush. Soon we're going to fill up with beautiful fruits. Okay, I think I want to make a few more branches. I'm just going to rinse my brush, add a few more branches coming down. I'll just make a little more full here. Let's see, I'll put a few more leaves in. Yep, a lot of leaves to fill in over here. Okay. We can always come back and add more if you want. We're going to go on to just giving a little bit of highlight to the leaves. You just add a little bit of, if you look at leaves, because the sun shines, the shadows and shines, you add a little yellow and a little white. And you can just give a little like highlight. That's a little too much, so we just add a little more green. Just a little highlight in them, just gives it a little colour. Highlighting them a little bit. You don't have to do every leaf. Just put a little white or yellow, or a mix of yellow and white. See how it comes. It's coming more alive, the leaves. There you go. Put a little more green leaves over here. I'll fill up a little more over here. And you could just like blend and mix some green, yellow, white. Yeah, we'll put a few more leaves over here. Looks a little plain over here. Okay. Second. Okay, now we're going to go to add the apples on the tree. But before we start, before we go to the apples, I just want to do with a little white. We're going to add here a half a heart. Your grandchild in the trunk, in the middle of the trunk. Your grandchild has done a half a heart on her side of the trunk. And we're just going to outline your half. And you'll add some red in it after we do the apples. This is the connection between you and your grandchild. So now we're going to rinse our brush and add some red paint. And what we're going to do is we're going to put some nice, beautiful red fruits, red apples into the tree. The red apples are the fruits that grow from the Torah learning that we've taught our children and grandchildren, and they begin to do the mitzvahs from the Torah. And each mitzvah that we do brings more goodness into the world. And as we know, like the fruits are sweet, smell delicious. We share with others. And from their seeds, we create more trees, more delicious fruits from these apples. So each time we do a mitzvah, a good deed, we make the world a better place, bringing goodness, sweetness, and kindness. There are so many beautiful good deeds we do every day, like giving charity, loving each other, having respect for one another, lighting the Shabbat and Yom Tov candles, going to the synagogue, praying, keeping kosher. Each good deed brings another good deed and connects us all. So let's fill the tree with beautiful, sweet, delicious apples. We're going to highlight them soon. You can do a few red apples on each few leaves. You can have them hanging, you can have them above. We can add more leaves over them afterwards. Another one hanging over here. Here, one's over here, right? This makes your tree nice and colourful. Another one hanging off over here. One in the background there. fruitful tree. And if you want, you can add a little more leaves above them, below them, hanging over some of the apples. Here's another space for another apple over here. Put the apple over here. Keep looking back to see how many more. If you want to fill up your tree more, you can add some more branches. Add some more leaves, some more apples. Put some more leaves over here. Put another branch over here. Coming over this way. A few more leaves. The leaves that you do ahead and front, you can add some more highlight in them because it sounds like a little more yellow, maybe a little more white and green. Yeah, you can play around a little bit here. Okay, I think it's pretty full, the tree. And now that you have the, on the apples, we want to do a little highlight, a little white, take a little white or a little yellow. You do very, very, very gently, a little highlight in the apple. You don't have to, but if you want to just have that little color in the apple on the side or towards the top. Very small little color, just put into the apple. If you can already see it, some of them. A little more white maybe. A little white in this one over here. It's a little white, so put a little yellow. And then now you can take your red and you can add a little red to your heart. Now you don't have to do the whole thing red, you can just like blend in a little red, yellow, sorry not yellow, red, a little brown, a little white. Or if you want you can make it bright red, it's up to you. You can make the center more red. But this is going to be the heart that's going to connect you to your grandchild. Okay, now as we're going to be adding a little more color to the field, I'd like to share with you a story. So first we'll be taking some more yellow and mix it with some green, and you can be coloring a little bit, painting some yellow and green into the field, making a little more color into it. I would put more of the yellow to the left side because the sun is shining more on this side, not really too much under the tree. And you can put a little more yellow over here. You can mix a little more browns. You can put some yellow actually in the brown in the background, for the back. You can add a little more brown if you want over here. Just have it more color to the field. Put a little bit of yellow here. So this is the story I would like to share with you. There was once, it's a story that I learned from the Talmud about two sages that met, and before they were departing, one asked the other, if he can have a blessing. So the rabbi, the sage, told the other guy, let me tell you a parable, a story. There was once a man who was very, very hungry and thirsty and exhausted. He was walking in the desert, and he had to find some food and some water. Suddenly, he spotted a tree, a beautiful, strong apple tree in the middle of the desert. This looks like this is a field, but where he was, it was a desert. And out of nowhere, he saw a tree standing there with beautiful, fresh fruit and a stream nearby. So he took an apple from the tree, he made a blessing and ate it. He no longer was hungry. Then he went to the stream. He took some water to drink. He no longer was thirsty. He was exhausted now, even more exhausted than before from walking through a desert. So he sat down to rest under the shade of the tree. He said to the tree, "Tree, what shall I bless you with? You were so good to me. I would love to give you a blessing. But you already have shade. You have beautiful apples, fruit to give me, and you also have a stream of water nearby. So what I'm going to bless you with is that your offsprings, whatever comes from you, your fruit, should continue to bring beautiful offsprings. The same is, the rabbi said, the sage said to his friend, you have wealth, you have health, you have children. I bless you that your children should grow up to be wonderful human beings, Torah learning children with good faith and good people. And that's what I bless you with. So I just wanted to share this beautiful story with. And this is what we have, the beautiful stream of water right here. And we have the fruits and we have the shade. So as we're going to just finish off the last few details of this painting, we're going to put some more green. So I'm just adding some more green over here. We're going to actually take our fine brush and we're going to do a little more detail, grass, above the roots. We're going to mix some brown, some green, and a little bit of yellow to make some little tips. So we see some of the grass over here. We're covering over some of the thing, some of the roots. So a little bit more of yellow and white to highlight it. And then next to the lake, we also want to put a little bit of earthy color over here. Usually there's like a little earth over here. A little bit on this side. Just a little bit, put a little too much, mix it with green. And we're going to add some long, sorry, I put a little too much paint so you can rinse it off. Like I did. Just make a little bit of some long some long grass along the edge of the stream. But don't go all the way up because you don't see it further away. And then you do a little bit over here also. Grassy, some green, and some yellow. A little more yellow over here. And also just want to fix up this a little more. I'm actually going to put a little more green over here. So the lake kind of goes out into the distance. If you notice that, put a little more brown. It's like far out into the field. There we go. And here, we're basically, and as we see, sometimes apples do fall from a tree. So we're going to draw some of those. So do one here. Another one over here. And another one right here. You can do as many as you want on the ground. I'm going to be just putting a little highlight in there. Highlight. It's a tree here. And just make a few more grass next to it. And this is basically a tree. And if you want, you can fill it up a little more yourself with more leaves and more apples. It's your creativity. So as we finish this, you finish your half of the tree and you're going to connect with your grandchild. You're going to have a strong, beautiful, strong tree, which is with great foundations, strong foundations, growing up into the trunk, again with Torah and mitzvahs. And it was so beautiful to paint with you today. I would love to see your finished painting together with your grandchild. If you want to see more of my paintings, I have paintings on trees, on Judaic, biblical stories. You can check me out on FromMyArtAndSoul.com. Looking forward to hearing from you. Have a great Tu B'Shvat. Happy holiday.